Colorado High School Activities Association football is on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. It's homecoming night tonight from Legion Field in Fort Morgan as the Fort Morgan Mustangs, trying to snap a two-game losing streak, take on the second-ranked team in Class 3A, the Mead Mavericks. Again, Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde rejoining me. I'm John Beltran. Brian, let's get to the nickel package, the 5 keys to the game, which unfortunately last week the Mustangs could not meet some of those, which is why they lost the game to Berthoud 22-10, and it's going to be more difficult to meet those tonight considering the caliber of the opponent.
That's for sure. I've got the first one they've got is to come out and ready to play. Last week they weren't ready to play. And tonight, you know, if you can't get up for homecoming and for a number 2 team in the state, then something's wrong. But they've got to come out ready to play. You got to contain the run game. They average 332 yards a game. If you can at least cut that in half, you got to contain it because you're not going to stop them. It's like a 3-headed monster coming in here. And so you got to stop that, or at least contain that run game. You've got to also control the ball and the clock when you have the ball. You want to limit their number of possessions.
Which is what they did not do last week. The Mustangs could not get the ground game going whatsoever.
Create turnovers. They had some turnovers last week, but they also gave up some turnovers last week. But they've got to win that turnover battle. Take the ball away a couple of times, strip that ball if they have to get an extra possession or two. Also, when Linker is back to pass, they need to protect that quarterback. They've got to keep the pressure off of him, give him time to find those passes. And, you know, part of that control the ball, maybe short passes, screen passes, something like that, instead of the run, just to control that ball.
The Mead Mavericks are coached by Jason Klatt. They're wearing their road whites tonight. Aaron Martinson, an assistant coach, along with Tyler Swanson, Gary Klatt, Jeremy Palco, Heath Irwin, Brian Olson, Josh Mendenhall, Joe Rosenbrock, a Brush product, and Dan Glenn. The Mustangs coached by Harrison Chisholm, assisted by Greg Edson, Josh Langford, Jeff Peterson, Jim Kreckemeyer, Ian Moreno, Tyrone Ortiz, Seth Wolf, Chris Cobley, TJ Schneider, Andy Schoen, and Kyle Grawless. The Mustangs in their home blacks, which we have not seen in 4 weeks, but we'll see 4 of the next 6 weeks. And they certainly have to win special teams, which actually they did last week because Berthoud committed a couple of turnovers. But as you mentioned, Brian, they could not take advantage every time they missed a field goal. And then even down 15-10, there was an interception that really wasn't Linker's fault. It was a deflection inside the 10-yard line. And once that happened, Berthoud came up with a big play, and they were able to win this game, or win last week's game, 22-10. Opening kickoff is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Looking to find insurance for your car, home, or even for you? Call Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. They can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or provide a quote. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Jose Jimenez to kick it off. Check out the deep man momentarily. See if Jimenez can boot this one into the end zone. It takes a bounce at the 12, and it's fielded at the 6-yard line, running across the 15 to the 20. There's a big seam across the 25, and still on his feet and getting loose along the left side is Dominic Esters, the top receiver on the team, but then he's dragged down at around the 23, a return of about 17 yards. So now they got to wrap up, Brian. That was a little bit shaky there on special teams.
Yeah, they've got to bring him down. They got to hit him first time, and he got loose and didn't gain anything. He went across field, and they finally drug him down. But it'll be a task for him tonight, but we'll get it started now.
I got to watch out for Nathan Mackey and Derek Edwards. The quarterback is Tyler Keys. All the skill position players really are seniors. And there's the keeper by Keys up the left side. He's got a seam across the 30 and still on his feet. He's down at about the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. Mustang starters, Andrew Monroe and Donovan Moya. They're the defensive backs. Isaac Linker plays a big role in that defense. Grayson Garver and Luis Garcia also the defensive backs, but they don't throw much. And that's a gain, by the way, of about 10 yards. It's 10 yards there for Keys. First down and 10 as they move the chains. 2 receivers to the right. Now out of that gun, there's the handoff left side across the 35 to the 37, and that is Nathan Mackey. Looks like more of a pistol there, line that they're setting up as opposed to the gun, because he's about 4 or 5 yards back with a running back to his right. And that's a gain of about, we'll call it 5 to the 37 for Nathan Mackey's second down and 5. Well, you got a big sophomore on that left side of the Mustang defensive line, and Nick Norris. John Hocanedo out tonight because of injury. and we had movement on the right side. Mustangs do have some inexperience. Remember, a lot of these kids were playing on Thursdays last year.
Right. Yeah, and they jumped. Mead went to change position in their offense, and Fort Morgan jumped, causing the offsides.
Yeah, James Moody got a little bit of a quick step, and that's going to be very close to a first down, but he's going to play a critical role tonight from that right defensive end position. It is a first down for Mead, already their second here, and we haven't even run 3 plays. 1st and 10, Mead at their own 42-yard line. Dom Esters is in motion to the left, out of the pistol. There's the handoff, left side. Mackey cuts it back to the inside, and then he's held up at about the 45. Looked like there were about a bodies flying towards the tackler, almost like the ball was loose, but it was not.
Yeah, a lot better job that time on the defense, picking up who has the ball. They do a lot of misdirection, so you got to keep your eye open to see who's
Dylan McBride made the first hit. 2nd down, we'll call it a gain of 2. 2nd down, and a long 8 to go, just past the 44-yard line. One receiver to the left, out of the pistol. There's the keeper, running left, stutter stepping his keys, looking to the outside. He's got a seam across the 50 to the 49-yard line. That blocking is awfully good because he's taking his time, almost like a Le'Veon Bell of the Steelers for the running back position, waiting for the opening there, and he was able to get 6 yards there. It'll be 3rd down and 2 to go. Keys with 2 carries for 16 yards, second leading rusher on this team.
Yeah, he picks up a lot of runs. They've got 3 guys in that backfield that'll pick up yardage.
For the Mustang 49, Esters is in motion to the left. Out of the pistol once again is Tyler Keys, and he's going to pitch it right, swinging it to the outside, and close to a first down right at the 47. And that time the ball carrier is C.J. Schellenberger, I believe. Yep, the 5'10", 160-pound senior. It's a gain of 2 and a first down, and that's the 3rd first down already for this team from Longmont. But they're a talented bunch. There's no question about it. You can follow us on Twitter at B106 and on the B106 Facebook page. 1st and 10, just inside the Mustang 47. Out of the pistol. Once again, here's the give on the right side across the 45 to the 40. Edwards is loose, and now he's tackled from behind at about the 32 by Jimmy Keller. But that's a gain of 15 and a first down, and that was Nathan Mackey with a gain of 15. He's got 3 carries now for 22 yards.
Yeah, Mackey, I think he's
and they're all seniors. Mackey's a senior.
Yep.
He's
5'10", 185.
And yeah, he's a battering ram. 1st and 10 for the 32 out of the pistol. 2 receivers to the left. Here's a keeper right up the gut for Keys, and a huge hold at the 20. He's loose at the 15 to the 10 towards the end zone. Touchdown. Scores from 32 yards away. And Mead takes the early lead 6-0 on the 32-yard gallop there by Tyler Keys.
Yeah, they've got some excellent blocking up front there. They're making some big holes on that offensive line, and he's taking his time and getting through there.
Now the extra point to be attempted. I wonder if that's Mackey there. I see a... Nope, that's not Mackey. The extra point is good. In fact, that was attempted. Might have been Dustin Sauty. We'll check it out. All right, we have 8:40 to go in the opening quarter with a score. Mead 7, Fort Morgan nothing. This is Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. 77-yard drive in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Tyler Keys runs it in from 32 yards away. And actually with the extra point was Taylor Kamagaki. And Mead with a 7-0 lead. And Ryan, they needed, just 7 plays to get into the end zone.
Yep.
And now to kick it off will be Kamagaki. Jacob Ortega is one of the deep men. It's a short kick up the sideline, fielded at the 19, running across the 25 down to the 27. That return over there by David Sarinana. And the Mustangs will have the football. And now, this is what you're talking about, Brian. They couldn't stop the run game, but now they've got to really control it on their very first drive. And this is going to be a huge challenge for Fort Morgan in what undoubtedly is their toughest test of the year now.
That's for sure. Yeah, they've got to chew some time off the clock. As efficient as Mead was going down the field that first possession.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 28-yard line. Trips to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Let's see if Linker lines up under center. And an early snap, and the ball is loose in the backfield. And I think Mead fell on the football at the 14-yard line. Linker was not expecting it, and it was snapped prematurely. And already the Mustangs have committed a turnover, and Mead in the red zone here on their second possession, starting at the Mustang 15-yard line. And wow, that was rough.
You can't have mistakes like that, especially down here in the red zone.
1st and 10 for Mead. I mean, that turns out to be a pretty significant loss as well for Fort Morgan, even on the yardage. 2 receivers to the left. Out of the gun is Keys. Keys is going to throw it out to his left, complete at the 22. Getting loose as Esters up the left sideline of the 5 touchdown, but there's a flag down. Kevin, I don't know if you saw down there what that penalty flag is all about, but they threw those pretty quickly. In fact, they threw a couple of penalty flags, Kevin.
Yeah, what I saw was that the wide receiver came back in and had kind of a crackback block on, and obviously he held as well.
All right, loud and clear is Kevin Rohde on the field tonight, which we love that type of technology. It is a hold against Mead. So that penalty will drive him back to the 24. It's kind of like a 9-yard penalty, Brian. Maybe not a full 10, but nonetheless, 1st and 19. The Mustangs need those breaks as well.
Yeah, that's you got to take advantage of it here. You got to stop this offense.
1st and 19. Again, 2 receivers out to the left for the Mustang 24 off the first turnover of the game. Keys will hand it off on the right side, cutting it back towards the middle, and maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage. Let's see if that was Mackey again. Yeah, he was stacked up by a few of the Mustangs. McBride around the football. And Jimmy Keller, who's going to play a huge role tonight. I mean, you need Jimmy Keller to make a lot of tackles tonight. He's got that type of talent. So no gain there for Mackey. It'll be 2nd down and 19 for the 24-yard line. 7.5 to go in the opening quarter. Mead leads 7-0. They'll reset that offense along the left side. 2 receivers once again to the left side. Tyler Keys will keep the football up the middle to the 20-yard line, still on his feet, and then he's dragged down at about the 15, but again, another effective play. It's a gain of 9. It'll be 3rd down and about 10 to go for Mead, so they got back to the original line of scrimmage, and when you're holding the football that long, I mean, the linebackers can freeze pretty easily as well.
Yeah, that's for sure, and right now, Mead's winning that line of scrimmage. They're knocking the defensive line back. Fort Morgan, he's getting easily 10 yards a run.
3rd down and 10 for the 15. Keys is going to spin to his left. Pressure coming, and Hocanetto right there, and he goes down. John Hocanetto got in that backfield along with Gerardo Miranda, and he went down at the 23-yard line, a loss of about 8. It'll be 4th down, and you know for sure that they're going to go for it, even though they've got to pick up 18 yards now.
Yeah, that was a good rush there. That was they broke through that offensive line and sacked him for about 8 yards.
Well, I started wondering if they were setting up a screen.
It could have been.
Right, and then all of a sudden the Mustangs blew it up. All right, huge play for Fort Morgan. 4th down and 18 for Mead at the Mustang 23. Esters is in motion to the left. 1 receiver to the right. Keys is back to throw. Pressure coming up the middle, and now he's going to be taken down to the 29. There's a flag down. Hopefully that's a holding call and not a face mask. It will be a loss of 6, and I think it's going to be a block in the back or a hold. And there were 2 or 3 Mustangs in there. That's already their 2nd sack, and they had a bunch of guys in there. That was a team sack, and now the Mustangs take over. Kevin, that's a huge momentum changer in this game, considering that that Mead was on the doorstep there. So the Mustangs are able to stop Mead. That's a loss of about 7. So here we go, 1st and 10 for Fort Morgan at their own 30-yard line, trailing 7-0 in the opening quarter, and even 6 minutes to go. Under center, Linker on the end around, hands it off on the left side. I think that's J.P. Hamer. Nope, that's Donovan Moy. He's going to be thrown for a huge loss. A huge loss of close to 10 yards. And it's pretty obvious with the speed that Mead has on defense. They're going to have to go more north and south than east and west.
Yeah, they're not going to string it out here. They're going to have to do some quick passes, some screens maybe.
2nd down and 20 to go for the Mustangs from their own 20. The last 3 plays have gone backwards. 2 by Mead, 1 by Fort Morgan. Under center, 1 receiver to the right. And there's the end around running right as Sarinana across the 20 to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line, running pretty hard there. He's able to gain about 6 yards. But again, they need a lot more But you know what? That's actually a very good play. You have to somehow establish the running game.
Yeah, normally if they wouldn't have had that big loss there, that'd have been a gainer, it'd been like 3rd and 5 now, but now it's about 3rd and 15. So
yep, 3rd and about 14, just shy of the 26-yard line. Garver's the receiver to the left. Out of the pistol is Isaac Linker, and the defender right on top of Garver. Linker with a 5-step drop, looks, rolls to his right, throws. It's nearly picked off. It would have been a touchdown there. It was nearly intercepted by Derek Edwards. That would have made it a 14-0 game, but luckily he did not hold on to the football, and the Mustangs will have to punt, and that was pretty scary right there.
Yeah, he stepped right in front of that. Or might have been behind his receiver, actually.
Luis Garcia to punt. That was Fort Morgan's second possession, but at least they ran some plays here after the early snap on the first one. And that snap is pretty short, but he gets to it, and then it's partially blocked, but the ball is going to go towards the Mead side, inside the 45, towards the 40-yard line, and they down it just inside the 40. I mean, that ended up being a lot better. You get a partial block, the ball normally goes either straight up or backwards, and instead, it turned to about a 38-yard punt, 37-yard punt, but Mead does have pretty good field position at their own 40-yard line, leading 7-0 on Tyler Keyes' 32-yard run.
Yeah, that turned out a lot better than it surely could have.
Out of the pistol, 1st and 10, man in motion to the right. Here's the handoff to Edwards, a big hole up the middle, runs behind a blocker. Then he's going to be corralled, but not after picking up 9 yards to the 49. Isaac Linker was able to bring him down, wrestle him down, and Mead is right up to the line of scrimmage. As Edwards has a sizable run on that play. Or check that. Mackey. I keep saying Edwards. There's the handoff right side. I'm confusing 46 for 44. That's close to a first down. Dylan McBride makes the hit there on the ball carrier, Jake Wachter.
Yeah, hurry up offense there. Got him the first down. Are they going to...
Mackey already has 5 carries.
They're still deciding whether that's a first down. It looks like it's a first down to me.
Well, it's first of all, it says second down. I think they're going to say, wow. I mean, they got to measure there. They definitely have to measure at this point. Proud to be Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan with locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush. Equitable Savings and Loan available 24/7 for your banking needs. Equitable Savings and Loan. Kevin Rohde with us on the field, and Kevin, I wonder if there's a fear here that the Mustang defense is going to be on the field too long here, because they've been on the field quite a bit, and the Mustang offense has only run a limited number of plays.
Absolutely. You're right there, John, that Fort Morgan's defense has to be worried about fatigue and everything else, especially with the number of starters that are out or hurting. They need to rotate in and get fresh bodies. So we'll see how they can handle this awesome attack.
All right, and yeah, it's a remember, they're averaging 47 points a game and allowing just 10. So it is a first down with 4:10 to go in the opening quarter. Mead with a 7-0 lead. Out of the pistol. There's the get. This one is to Edwards. He is tripped up. If not, he would have gone a lot more than the 5 or 6 yards that he picked up. Well, that's an excellent tackle there by Jimmy Keller. Gets to the 44-yard line, but 6 could have been a lot more, Brian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was, it was open there. If he hadn't grabbed him by the ankle there, he'd have been gone.
2nd down and 4 for the 44. And there's the keeper by Keyes, and he spins, and he's down at the 41. James Moody got him. Nice hard tackle there by Moody, a pickup of 3 for Keyes. And all he's doing is placing the ball in the gut of the ball carrier and either giving it to him or he's taking off with the football himself. 3rd down and 1. 2 receivers to the right. Let's see if this will be a run play by Keyes. If he reads the Keyes on the opposing defense, because he's been successful so far. He scored the lone touchdown of the game. And now I think Mead called a timeout. Jason Klatt didn't like something. And the play clock was running down. So it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the 41-yard line. Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center is your headquarters for your home, farm, and ranch supplies, from plumbing to feed, with 3 locations to serve you: Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center. Brian, Kevin, and I will be at Centaurus High School next week in Lafayette. 7 o'clock kickoff here on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. And
you were talking about limited plays. Fort Morgan's run 4 plays so far, counting that bad hike. Mead has run 15.
3rd down and 1 for the Mustang 41. Man in motion to the right. Handoff right up the gut. That is Edwards. And he's going to drive his way inside the 40 to the 36. He carried Dylan McBride, who was the only Mustang who really made solid contact and didn't have a lot of leverage on him. It's a gain of 5 and a 1st down. But they had him at the 40-yard line, and just a little bit of a high contact there.
6'3", 205 is Edwards.
Well, that's why it's tough to tackle him. Trips to the left on 1st and 10 for the 35. The pass out and the left flat is caught, and there's some daylight along the left sideline across the 30 to the 25, inside the 25 to the 22, and that might be Jack Ellman. Did I see 16 there?
That looked like it, yeah.
Let's see, yeah, it's a gain of about 13, and a 1st down there to Ellman. All right, at the 22-yard line, Luis Garcia made the hit for Fort Morgan. When the waning minutes of the opening quarter, 2.5 to go, Fort Morgan trails 7-0, and Mead is knocking on the door from the 22. Handoff, left side, Edwards spins his way across the 20 to the 19. Actually jitterbugged his way a little bit. 3 yards and a carry, several Mustangs, including Linker and McBride, in there to make the hit. It'll be 2nd down and 7 to go.
Yeah, he's a big young man, strong young man, so.
2nd down and 7 for the Mead Mavericks of the Mustang 19. 2 receivers are split to the left side. Resetting is Mackey. Tyler Keys out of the pistol. Will keep the football right up the gut to the 15. Now he's inside the 10, and he dives to about the 6-yard line. Boy, I mean, this guy's so good with that maneuver. A gain of 13, 1st and goal for Mead, and they're running the football very well.
Yeah, there's no, they're not stopping them right now. So, but we'll see how they stiffen up here on the goal down at the 6-yard line.
Well, this is a very good Mustang team, but again, they're shorthanded a bit. 1st and goal at the 6. Trips to the right. Keys will hand it off right up the gut. Touchdown to Derek Edwards from 6 yards away, and Mead now leads 13-0 in Fort Morgan.
Yeah, that's right. It's just they're winning that line of scrimmage, and they're making some big holes there.
Well, remember, they have outscored opponents 47-10, as we documented earlier. Now the extra point to be attempted by Taylor Kamagaki. That is up, and that looks perfect from here. Yep. And it is. We have 1:31 to go, 1st quarter. Let's take a break. The score: Mead 14, Fort Morgan nothing on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. John Beltran back with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. 1:31 to go in the opening quarter. A 6-yard run by Derek Edwards as the Mavericks up 14-0 on a rather lengthy drive there in terms of plays, more than the 7 that they ran the first time, Brian.
Yeah, it took 9 plays that time.
A deep kick fielded by Sarinana at the 9, straight ahead to the 15, across the 20. He's got some daylight across the 30 to the 32, return of about 23 yards before the special teams tackle was made by Devin Edwards, a sophomore for Mead. But the Mustangs have their best field position. And again, they did have a little bit of a game changer there with the back-to-back sacks. Now they're going to need some ball control and hold this thing for about 3 or 4 minutes. And Jimmy Keller is in the backfield. 1st and 10. The Mustangs have it at their own 32-yard line. One receiver out to the right. Under center is Linker. Sarinana in motion. He drops the ball, picks it up, and runs straight ahead and carrying defenders across the 35 to about the 36. We'll give them 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. And
that's been their best play so far. It was a broken play.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit over anxious here. Nice and easy. 2nd down and 7 just beyond the 35. Linker sends a man in motion to the right. Sarinana on the end around looking for a block. He's got it across the 40-yard line, maybe down right there actually. So he picks up about 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 3 to go for Fort Morgan. Inside of 40 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Again, Linker will be under center. 3rd and 3. The Mustangs at their own 40, and a quarterback keeper, and he's going to be held short. It was a quick snap, but he only got to about the 41.5. Man, Mead was ready for that, because those quick snaps can often throw the defense off. Let's see where the spot is. Yeah, only the 41.5, a gain of about 1. It'll be 4th down and a long 1, a short 2. here for the Mustangs, and they might wait. They will wait till the second quarter to decide what to do. We played one quarter in Fort Morgan on homecoming night. The score, Mead 14, Fort Morgan nothing. This is Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. Let's begin the second quarter with the Mustangs trail Mead in Fort Morgan 14-0. The Mustangs will punt here on a 4th down and a long one, just shy of the 42-yard line. Let's see if Luis Garcia can get this off a little bit cleaner. And he actually did a good job the first time. That's a really good kick, end over end, fielded at the 16-yard line, breaking a tackle across the 20 along the left sideline before the tackle was made. At about the 26 is Ryan Labanchi. So it's a return of about 10 or 11 yards. I think Sarinano was down there on special teams, but they'll have it at the 27-yard line. Now you got to play some defense if you're Fort Morgan, because you're still in this game at this point.
Actually, I think Fort Morgan had taken a timeout before the clock ran out. Now we're at the end of the first quarter, as they did punt, punt to the north. So,
all right. Well, that was odd.
Yeah, they took a timeout with 1 second left in the first quarter.
All right. Well, it didn't count.
Yeah.
Just keep it right here. And Kevin, you know, we had the impression that Mead, even though they were ranked lower, was a better team than Holy Family. I think we're seeing that right now, that the Mavericks, even though Holy Family is a good team, but they got beat last night, that this Mead team is pretty stacked.
I agree with you on that. I think if Mead played Holy Family, even without their quarterback Samaras being hurt last night in the Longmont game, I think Mead would play very similar to the way Fort Morgan played first half against Holy Family, and would physically dominate them as we did in that first half.
All right, so here we go. So, well, you're right. That was the final play. I should have known that, because they were kicking that direction. So now we begin the second quarter officially. Out of the 27-yard line, there's the pitch left side across the 30. There's a flag down. That's either a hold or a block in the back. And the ball carrier that time was Jake Wachter. And he was hit after a gain of about 5 or 6. But that is coming back. It's a hold against Mead. And again, the Mustangs did take advantage of that earlier when there was a holding penalty against Mead, and they were kept out of the end zone, thanks in part to the aforementioned back-to-back sacks.
Yep.
Well, then that was very smart of...
They put it with the wind. The wind was at their back, so...
Exactly.
It's a fairly stiff breeze right out of the southeast.
All right, so back to the 19-yard line. 1st and 17. Spinning his keys, he'll hand it up. Nope. Oh, that's right up the middle, and breaking tackles. Man, there were players going in all different directions across the 25 to the 29. That's Derek Edwards. Well, that's a gain of about 10. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
He's a big boy to try to bring down, that's for sure.
Well, it's all the misdirection, the deception, whether it's an end around. Tyler Keys does an excellent job of disguising where the football is at. He's had some big runs, including a 32-yard touchdown run. 2nd down and 9 for the 29. Keys out of the pistol. Will hand it off on the right side, and that's Edwards again. He's being held up, but not till he gets to about the 35 and maybe across the 35. And the Mustangs are making some hard hits tonight. They've got to, as Danny Narvaez made the hits along with a couple of other Mustangs, but it's a gain of 6. It'll be 3rd down and about 3 to go there for Mead, up 14-0 already in the opening moments of the second quarter. And now Mead called their second timeout. Oh, for a team that's looking good. Coach Jason Klatt has called 2 timeouts already. You need your vehicle and farm equipment to be in top shape, so make sure you take care of them by purchasing the best quality parts at great prices at your local Napa store. That's Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. And when you're looking for someone to walk you through the insurance world, turn to the office of Greg Mullen Brush. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. All right, so the Mead Mavericks have broken out of the huddle. Let's see what they decide to do here on a 3rd down and about 3 at their own 35-yard line, already with a 2-touchdown lead.
Yep. Mead has some big boys on their front line, 6'7", 235.
A lot of Schellenberger and Esters, the receivers to the right. Out of the pistol. Keys bobbled the ball. And now he's going to get hit in the backfield as he spun his way back to the 27-yard line. Name him, Brian. Isaac Linker. Oh, they got a Mustang down who was in on the play. Might have got Mead somewhere. But that's a loss of 8 yards.
Miranda.
Yeah, man, Miranda, he's been tough all season.
Yeah.
But he's also taken some hits.
James Hogbottle was in there also.
Well, I believe this is the first punt of the game for Mead. To be a 3rd and 11 and a heavy rush. But the punt is off. And it's dropped at the 28, but picked up across the 30 along the sideline is Moya. And he's down at the 42. Pretty decent return there. The punt from Trace Lindemann, a senior. And a nice job of Moya getting 13 yards after he really did not feel that cleanly at all. He didn't feel it cleanly, but he was able to pick up almost 14 yards on the return. And now the Mustangs in good field position, even better field position than they had in the opening quarter during any of their drives. They trail 14-0 with 10:10 to go in the second. The receiver to the right is Luis Garcia. Linker is lining up under center. Keller's in the backfield. Now he spins. Linker's going to take off with the football, and he's going to get maybe half a yard, and then he's driven back. I don't know if that was a design play because he spun. I think he was looking to hand off the ball.
I think he was.
But there was nobody there, so we'll give him a yard. But we've already seen a couple of uncustomary mistakes, if that's even a word, by the Mustangs. The early snap. And then that play right there, which looked like a busted play. 2nd down and 9 to go for Fort Morgan at their own 43. The receiver to the left is Grayson Garber out of the pistol with one setback. Linker's going to roll out to his right. Throws along the sideline. Complete. That's a first down to Jacob Ortega. Across the 45 to the 44. And that's a gain of, we'll call it 12 yards. They're going to mark it back at the 45, and the Mustangs needed that badly. And now they're in Mead territory.
Yeah, he was wide open. I saw him come down and make that little cutout there, and Ortega was wide open. They gave Linker nice time to pass.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the Mead 45-yard line. Narvaez is the lone setback. You've got 3 receivers bunched in closely to the right. Sutter stepping as Linker, running back out to his left, snaps out of a tackle, and then he lunges inside the 40 to the 37. It's a gain of close to 8 yards for Isaac Linker. I tell you, he used his instincts right there because he didn't have much in the beginning, but he was patient. Very patient, Brian, and he found the seam.
Yeah, he cut it outside. It was plugged up, and he bounced it outside for a gain of 8.
2nd down and a long 2. At the Mead 37-yard line, under 9 minutes to go, 2nd quarter. Mead 14, Fort Morgan nothing. Out of the pistol, Linker rolls out to his right. Plenty of protection, throws complete inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. And a gain of about 11. And the receiver once again was Jacob Ortega. Ortega's going to lead the team in receiving this year the way he's going, even though Luis Garcia and Grayson Garber and Andrew Monroe are pretty significant talents as well. But they're good route runners, but so is the sophomore Ortega.
Yeah, and he's coming out of that trips there. They're close on that right side, and he's finding the seam there and getting open.
Yeah, very tight trips to the right. They're barely spread out. In fact, Monroe is in front of the other 2. Out of the pistol for the 26. Linker again rolling to his right. Now setting up, throwing along the sideline. Partially tipped, but I think it was caught. It was by Ortega again at the 18-yard line, maybe the 17. Give him 8 yards, and Jacob Ortega has got incredible hands, and that pass was partially tipped, but Ortega stayed with it, and it's 2nd down and 2. And even though the Mustang philosophy for years has been to run the football, when you're passing it this well over the last 3 plays, go with what works.
That's for sure.
But it could open up the run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They always say you got to run to open up the pass, but that can always work the other way, too.
2nd down and 2 for the Mustangs at the Mead 17-yard line. In the red zone is Fort Morgan for the first time in the game. Garver's the receiver to the left, trips to the right. Narvaez is in the backfield. Linker, quarterback keeper, and he dives and lunges across the 50 to the 14. That's a first down, a gain of 3 for Linker. Not a big gain, but all he needed was 2. And he was on top of the pile. And sometimes when you're on top of the pile, that allows you to stretch that football out. But again, you know what helped out on this drive was that good field position starting for the 42. So they have traveled a long way here from the 42 to the 14. 44 yards so far. They need 14 more. Trips to the right. They're more spread out this time. One to the left. Linker's going to roll to his right on 1st and 10, running out of sideline, throwing, and it's complete to Luis Garcia right along the sideline at the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 6, and I love the passing and the routes that the Mustangs are running right here. Beautiful play. They're running it to the same side of the field, but it's working every time.
Yeah, this is you don't have to necessarily run the ball to have ball control. They're doing these short passes and taking time off the clock and keeping the ball away from Mead.
2nd down and 4 for the Mustangs at the Mead 8-yard line. Linker out of the pistol, not advised, the lone setback. Trips to the right, bunched in tight. Linker will roll out to his right again. Still rolling, throwing into the end zone and diving, and it's incomplete, I believe. Very close to a reception near the back of the end zone.
They're talking to each other.
And did he catch it? Monroe might have caught that ball. They called a touchdown. Monroe did not trap it. He caught the ball near the back of the end zone along the right side from 8 yards away, and the Mustangs are on the board. It's Mead 14, Fort Morgan 6.
Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
He wasn't real open, but but Linker got it in there.
All right, now a huge extra point to be attempted by Adam Cardona. Off the hold of Linker. Awaiting the snap. It's a perfect snap. That kick is up, and that kick is good. We have 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Second quarter, the score. Mead 14, Fort Morgan 7. You're listening to Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. A 58-yard drive ends with an 8-yard pass from Isaac Linker to Andrew Monroe. And on homecoming night, Brian, it's a new game. The Mustangs with 6:40 to go in the second now trail only 14-7.
Yeah, they're making a game of it. They're using their short passing game to run time off the clock and get points on the board.
Now to kick it off will be Jose Jimenez. Boots it high and fairly short. Fielded at the 13 is Esters across the 25 to the 30. He's got only 2 men to beat along the right sideline at the 50. And then he's knocked out of bounds in Mustang territory at about the 42-yard line. Kevin, I don't know if you got the better angle over there on that touchdown catch by Monroe, because we couldn't tell from here. I don't know if you could tell, Kevin, if that pass was indeed, it was ruled complete. But wow, that was awfully close to the ground.
Right. I think that probably would be best left said that the officials didn't see it bounce, and so it was a completion. Everyone here's questioning whether it was or not, so we'll talk more at half.
All right, here's the handoff along the right side, inside the 45 to the 42. Let's see who that ball carrier was. That was Nathan Mackey for Mead. Boy, that's a quick hitter there. It's a gain of 9, 2nd down and 1, and now I think it's turnover time, Brian, because if you don't come up with a turnover, Mead can put up points on the board really quickly like they have in the first quarter. Out of the pistol, 2nd down and 1 for the Mustang 41-yard line. The Mustangs have just cut this lead in half. And there's the keeper right at the middle for Keys across the 30. He's got the sideline by himself at the 10. Now inside to the 5. Tries to break out of a tackle. He spins and he scores. It's a touchdown from 41 yards away for Tyler Keys. He scored his 2nd touchdown of the game. And Mead, just like that, is back up by double digits. It's Mead 20, Fort Morgan 7.
Yeah, they can score quickly. They showed it right there. 2 plays, 50 yards.
Now the extra point to be attempted by Kamagaki. The snap, the kick is up, and that is good. Well, we've got 5:50 to go in the second quarter with the score. Mead 21, Fort Morgan 7. This is Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. The Mead Mavericks have responded to Fort Morgan's touchdown. A 41-yard scoring run by Tyler Keys. He's already over 100 yards on the night. 2 carries for 73 just on his touchdowns. He had carries of 10, 6, 9, 3, and 13. And that kick is fielded at about the 10-yard line. That is Sadinana, who takes it back to the inside across the 20 to about the 25 before he's taken down. Well, at this point, you do receive the second half kickoff, so if Fort Morgan can score again, it's hard to keep this team down on back-to-back possessions. Mead has punted only once. So with 5:44 to go, let's see what Fort Morgan could do here. I mean, that passing game worked real well. 1st and 10.
Yeah, they got to continue that ball control.
At the 25, Linker out of the pistol, rolls out to his right, takes off with the football. He's got running room to the outside, now spins to the 30-yard line. Then there's about 4 Mavericks to meet him right there, but Linker read that perfectly. I mean, he saw some daylight, and he took off with the football, and that was the right decision for the junior quarterback, Isaac Linker.
Yeah, he didn't see anybody open downfield out of that close trips, and he just took off and got 5 yards out of it.
Well, they're going to make adjustments, don't you think, Brian?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it looked like they did there, at least with coverage. 2nd down and 5 for Fort Morgan at their own 30. Again, out of the pistol. Linker is going to roll to his right again. Nobody's open. He's still rolling, throws along the sideline, and that's incomplete. At the 42-yard line, he was going for Luis Garcia, had a very small seam over there. It'll be 3rd down and 5. And at some point, Morgan's going to make a little adjustment, maybe send somebody deeper on the pattern just to spread the field out a little bit more. Now, Linker has thrown 7 passes in the game. He's completed 5. The first one was nearly intercepted, but then he completed 5 in a row. 3rd down and 5 from the 30. Out of the pistol, Linker rolls to his right once again. Still rolling, pressure coming along the sideline. Flag is down, 1st down across the 35 to the 36, but that's going to be coming back. It looked like there was a hold in the backfield at around the 25-yard line, and the preliminary indication is a hold against the Mustangs, so they're going to be in a real pickle here. They'll be forced into a passing situation, which hasn't been bad so far, but they haven't been 3rd and this long in this game.
Right, it's usually been 3rd and fairly short. They're going to be marking it back 10 yards from about the 27.
Yeah, they've got to get to their own 35-yard line, and the football is going to be at the 17, just past the 17, so it's 3rd and 18. So Mead will get another possession here, we know that. But let's see if Fort Morgan can pick up the 1st down. They do have some decent, not huge playability. They haven't had any huge plays outside of the 74-yarder or the 79-yarder in the pass from Linker to Ortega against Holy Family. He's going to roll out to his right. Pressure coming, throwing off his back foot. Complete along the sideline to the 25, but Garcia's tackled right there. Well, he was stacked up nicely along the sideline. It's a gain of 8. The tackle was made by Jake Wachter, but it'll be 4th down and 10 to go for the Mustangs, and they'll have to punt.
Yeah, he was getting pressure. He had guys coming in on both ends, and he had to get rid of that ball. Garcia happened to be open, so they didn't end up having to take a sack anyway.
Let's see if Garcia gets off another good punt like he did at the end of the 1st quarter. A little bit of a high snap. Here comes the pressure. That's a very short punt. That ball might land in Mustang territory, but it takes a Mustang roll into Mead territory all the way down to the 41-yard line. That was about a 15-yard roll that bailed him out a little bit. A punt of 34 yards. But Mead is in pretty good field position, looking to go up by even more. Up 21-7 with 3:52 to go here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, that wasn't a real good punt. I don't know if it was, he rushed a little bit, but he's also kicking right into a fairly stiff wind.
Well, if Fort Morgan keeps it at 21-7, they're still in the game. But you go up 28-7 if you're Mead. Trips to the right. That's going to be trouble. Handoff right side. Huge hole for Mackey. And he stutter steps his way into Mustang territory across the 45 to the 40. Big run. A gain of 19 yards. James Moody and Jimmy Keller around that football to make the hit. But it's a gain of 19 once again on the big hitter there for Nathan Mackey and a 1st down. Yeah. And again, as you mentioned, they're averaging well over 300 yards a game on the ground, and they're on their way now. They've got about at least 150 here in the opening quarter, in the opening half, I should say. Keys to throw over the middle. The pass is incomplete. Garber was on the coverage. Esters dropped it a little bit high at the 20-yard line, but if he makes that catch, he's got to step on the Mustang defender. He would have been gone.
Yeah, it was right in his hands. He let it go through. That's a ball that should be caught.
2nd down and 10 for Mead at the Mustang 40. An impressive-looking team. The Mustangs have stayed with them on several plays. and went down the field on a 58-yard drive to score their lone touchdown. Trips to the left on 2nd and 10. Tighter Keys will hand the football off along the left side. That's Edwards breaking out of a tackle in the secondary. Then he's taken down at the 25. The Mustangs missed a couple of tackles there. Jimmy Keller made the play, but it's a gain of 15 for Derek Edwards, and that's a Mead first down. And he has picked up 51 yards on 7 carries with a 6-yard touchdown in the first quarter. Clock continues to roll after a momentary stop for the movement of the chains. 3:09 to go. Second quarter, Mead with a 21-7 lead. Trips to the left, out of the pistol. There's the handoff along the left side, and jitterbugging his way to the 20, back to the 15, but a flag is down to the 14. So that one's going to come back. A gain of 11 will not count here for Nathan Mackey.
And hold on Schellenberger.
Yep. Well, that's what freed him.
Yeah.
Because if not, it would have been probably a gain back to the line of scrimmage. Well, I've heard that on so many levels that there are penalties on a lot of plays that are not called,
right,
especially the holding ones, because you're in such a tight bunch, so to speak. Anyway, gets the ball back to the 31-yard line, so that's a 1st and 16. The Mustangs have committed the game's only turnover, and Mead converted that in. Actually, Mead did not convert that. That's when the Mustangs have stopped them. First down and 16 from the Mustang 31. 2 receivers out to the left. The inside receivers, Esters, resetting a Schellenberger. Out of the pistol. This will be a keeper for Keys, but he's dragged down from behind on an excellent play by James Hokenettle, the junior, for a gain of only 1. Second down and 15. That was excellent discipline by Hokenettle.
Yeah, they stayed in their lanes that time. Didn't get beat on the block.
Second down and 15 to go, just inside the Mustang 30. And keep in mind that Mead only has 1 timeout remaining, but they do have 2 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the second, up by 2 touchdowns. Again, from the pistol, 2 receivers out to the right. Keys will spin, and he will hand it off right up the middle, and that's going to be an easy touchdown. Untouched is Derek Edwards. The Mustang defenders were looking the other way, as were we. 30 yards away for Derek Edwards, his 2nd touchdown of the game, and Mead leads 27-7, and that was executed perfectly with lots of deception.
Yeah, that's what they base their offense on.
The extra point is up, and that's inside the left upright. It's good. 2:05 to go, second quarter. It's Mead 28, Fort Morgan 7 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. Derek Edwards ran it in from 30 yards away from Mead. The extra point was good, and Brian had pretty good field position following a 34-yard punt, and they didn't need many plays to convert there.
Nope, took 5 plays to go 59 yards. Edwards takes it in from 30 yards out.
Second score of the game. Now the Mustangs need to do something here before the break. It's a high punt, fairly deep, fielded at the 3, along the sideline to the 10, back to the middle to the 20. That might be Sadi Naden again. Down to the 24, return of 21 yards. And that's where the Mustangs will have it. But they are down by 3 scores right now against what's going to be the number 1 team in 3A following this game, unless Fort Morgan makes an incredible comeback. First and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 24-yard line. Got a minute 59 to go, second quarter. Linkers out of the pistol, trips to the right, 1 to the left. Rolling to his right now, looking left, heaves it up the left side. The pass is caught. Garver with a leaping reception across the 40 to the 43. So that's a gain of 18 yards and a Mustang first down. A perfect pass and reception there from Linker to Garver.
Trying to see if somebody's coming out holding their shoulder here for Fort Morgan. I can't tell who that is.
First and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 43.
I have a number 61. I did not have a number 61 for Fort Morgan, so I'm not sure who that is.
Well, keep in mind the Mustangs have 2 timeouts remaining. Linker is out of the pistol on first and 10 for the 43. Linker rolling to his right, throwing off his back foot, wide open. It's caught underneath by Ortega. tries to break out of a tackle and does along the right sideline, and then he's inside the 50, he goes out of bounds. That'll stop the clock to the 47. It's a gain of 10. Nice, nifty moves there for Jacob Ortega.
Yeah, he pulled right out of that tackle and got him a few more yards, so every little bit helps. Down to a minute 22 and counting here in the first half.
Yeah, it is counting, so apparently he didn't go out of bounds. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 47-yard line of Mead. Out of the pistol once again is Linker. Linker rolls out to his right, throwing underneath. A pass is caught. Breaking out of a tackle is Luis Garcia. He's going to have a first down to the 37. It's a pickup of 10. The clock will stop for the movement of the chains. But this passing game is really effective for Fort Morgan. That's 9 completions tonight here for Isaac Linker, and he's thrown just 11 passes.
Yeah, they're going to call it just short. They're going to say it's going to be 2nd and 1. So
yeah, I guess his knee went down.
Oh, now they're giving him the first down. Okay.
That was Brian Nichols saying, make up your mind. All right, let's see if they can get into the end zone. Remember, they received a second half kickoff, but there's an even minute to go. Clock is running now. 1st and 10, Fort Morgan at the Mead 37-yard line. Linker from the pistol. Rolls out to his right. Still rolling, still rolling. Wants to set up and throw. He throws along the sideline, incomplete. He threw it away. That's the right play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Linker's got to do if he runs out of time and territory. And that was a very smart play by the junior.
That's for sure. Yeah, you got to throw it away. You can't take a sack.
And I think the Mustangs just picked up a yard there. Even though they did not. It's at the 36.
Yeah.
They picked up a yard on a ball that, where they had no yardage.
Maybe they counted where it went out of bounds on the throw.
2nd down and 9 3/4 from the 36. Linker again, rolling to his right. Still rolling, pumping, throwing, and I believe that's a complete pass at the 31, a diving reception. However, they're going to have to call timeout. And it was made by Jacob Ortega. Harrison Chisholm running out there, using some speed to make sure that he preserves as many seconds as possible. That's the 5th reception for Ortega. It'll be 3rd down and 5 to go for Fort Morgan at the 31. We've got 38.6 seconds to go. Kevin Rohde will be up here at halftime with us as well. We'll have a live introduction of the homecoming court, and then we'll get the Rohde recap, the first half recap of this game and his impressions on the Mustangs, and of course his very talented Mead Maverick team. By the way, that Mustang timeout, the second one they've taken, brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you into the car or truck of your choice, serving all of Northeast Colorado. Ehrlich Toyota East. By the way, you can save a lot of money right now during that 96-hour sale. You're looking to get cars off the lot. So you could save a lot of money through tomorrow, the 96-hour sale. 3rd down and 5 to go for the Mustangs at the 31. Linker back to throw, still back to throw. Now retreating, now he's going to be sacked. Got to get rid of the football. He did not. He was looking for somebody. He's going to lose 10 yards. He just kept backpedaling. Now it'll be 4th down. You know what? If you're the Mustangs here, let that thing run down to almost nothing and then throw it into the end zone. Don't call a timeout until you have about 5 or 6 seconds to go, and I think that's what Coach Chisholm is going to do.
And they may not. We'll see if they have to run a play or not. I'm not sure if they even have to run a play. I guess they'll give it a shot.
Well, it'll be 4th down, and now I think the Mustangs.
Mead called the timeout.
What?
They had one timeout left. They're going to make them punt.
No, you don't have to punt now. It's 4th down. You throw it into the end zone. You only got 3.4 seconds to go. No, you go for it here. I mean, that's pretty obvious right now. You throw it into the end zone and see what happens. The Mustangs have a major strength, as you all know, Brian, and these receivers, good hands. They run routes well. Now, I know this is not about running routes when you got to just throw it up for grabs, but at this point, you never know what you can accomplish here on the final play unless there's a defensive penalty. If Linker has any protection here, he'll have plenty of time to unleash it into the end zone. Here with 3.4 seconds to go, it's 4th down and 15 to go for Fort Morgan, but that doesn't matter because of the time left on the clock. Linker out of the pistol is back to throw, but pressure's coming up the middle. He's going to step up in the pocket, tries to avoid pressure. Now throws it up deep up the left side. That's going to be intercepted. It's intercepted at the 12-yard line, running along the sideline and now taking a knee at the 22. didn't get quite into the end zone there on the throw was a sophomore, Nick Jacobs. And that's the end of the opening half. With the score, Mead 28, Fort Morgan 7. We'll have homecoming festivities right after this on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net.
Welcome back, and we're finally ready for kickoff. Junior Fuga sets the ball up, and he's going to kick it away to the Sterling Tigers. That's kind of scary. Still not quite sure which direction the wind is going. I think it's going to go with the kick. Nice high kick, but it's only coming down to about the 12-yard line, cutting to the near side, and cutting back, and out to about over across the 30. I thought the receiver was going to cut it up and looked like he had a lane, but he cut right back into a brush tackler.
And that was Rose on the reception for Sterling, as Sterling starts off the second half with the ball at their own 35-yard line.
First and 10 for Sterling. We'll send two wides to the right side. Team has Isaac Harris in the backfield with him. Two wides to the near side. And we got a wide receiver in the slot too, underneath. Now that keeper by Hume again. He's up for a first down inside of Beat Digger territory.
About 17 yards on that. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Hume hasn't handed it off for a long time.
No.
He's just been keeping it. So Beat Digger shut that down. He's probably not going to hand it off. No huddle. Isaac Harris in the backfield. They're going to throw that bubble screen. Two missed tackles and finally hit down. Catch that number on a tackler. Queen with the tackle. But that's going to be a nice pickup going to Christian Rose again for about 7 yards. We'll set it down at the 44. 43. Isaac Harris in the backfield with Brody Hume. Kind of a low snap, and he does hand it off to Isaac Harris, and he's going to be up across the 40 of the Beat Diggers down to the 39.
Down to the 37-yard line that time. Ricardo Mendez is stopped. It's first and 10 Tigers.
And right there, what Sterling did is they just went with their big offensive lineman driving out and just running straight at the middle of the brush defense.
Beat Diggers going with 3 down linemen, and they're going to take advantage of that. Looks like they decided to do that at halftime. There's a run, breaking into the open about 15 yards. Good grief, that was Isaac Harris there. Looks like a big change there by the Tigers at halftime. Instead of fighting all the defensive backs, they're just working over the line there.
They're just going right at the defense, and you've got to have these guys out in coverage because of the receivers. They put so many receivers in the pass routes, but this is a great opportunity just to run the ball right at the brush defense, right in the middle there, where there's not very many guys to fill in and make tackles.
Tigers down to the Beat Digger 21, first and 10. And there's a pass across the middle, and nobody there. We get a late flag here right to the near side. There's one on the far side, too, though. We had an illegal receiver downfield.
Legal man.
Illegal man, yeah.
So that would have been an offensive lineman in that pass play getting downfield.
It's going to cost him 5 yards. We'll go back to the 26-yard line. First down and 15. Moving the shotgun. 2 wides to the right side, 2 to the near side, 3 to the right side. One in the slot there too. One's kind of hidden over there among the Beat Diggers. Do him all by himself. Got a motion man coming to the near side. He's going to roll out to the near side, throw it up, and it's going to be short of the receiver. Good pressure there by the Beat Diggers. That was Ricky Mendez on the pressure.
And they brought that receiver in motion, drug him all the way across the formation, hoping to lock up with him, and it was an incomplete pass.
The Tigers don't think they've had a huddle yet. 2 wides to the right, 2 to the near side. Receiver in the slot, Hume back there by himself. They'll bring Rose to the near side, a 2-man screen, and good blocking there. He's going to be hit down. That was Isaac Mendez on the Isaac Morales on the stop.
And Rose does a great job. Yeah, he does a great job on that screen. Hume just gets the ball out to him, and Rose is so good. He's so shifty. He's able to step in and out and avoid tacklers and pick up good yards.
Sterling sets up with only 1 wide receiver, 1 in the slot. And back to pass, a big rush by the Beat Diggers, and it goes for a touchdown. A beautiful pass out there to Alex Henry. Beat Diggers, like I said, put up the rush, and Hume just laid it out there right into the end zone. So the Tigers go up 20-0 at 9:02 left here in the third period. Beat Diggers haven't touched the ball yet this half. Third touchdown pass of the night for Hume.
Williams took that. He's 3 for 3. That's the point here. The Tigers lead 21-0.
21-0 here. Well, Ron, any answers?
Pressure on the quarterback if they can, but it's awful difficult when you've got to have all your defensive backs and linebackers in coverage because they've got 5 guys, 6 guys out on pass routes. So when they are in that situation, then all of a sudden Sterling's running right at them, and there's nobody there they're outnumbered. You got 5-on-3, and the 5-on-3 is going to win that battle every single time.
The Tigers set to kick it away. James Serjanik sets it on the tee. Got Colin Cole to the near side. And the kick's going to go to Cole. He kicks it about the 12-yard line. Got a good bunch of blockers, side steps. He's going to be running out. He's about to the 40-yard line.
Close to the 40-yard line.
Hit down by Isaac Harris. So a good run back by Colin. 12 out to right at the 40.
Right on the 40-yard line. First and 10 rush.
The Beat Diggers are headed to our right, to the north. Cox wide to the left. And pass, or a handoff to Morales. He's going to be hit down hard, about 4-yard pickup.
He's taken down by Kirsten Rose after giving him 5 yards.
Number 20, Rose. Well, we're going to give him forward progress to the 45. We're up 2nd and 5. Let's see Morales go backwards. He got hit pretty hard on that tackle. Go with the backs and the tee. Back to pass is Urich. He's got Dunker open. Intercepted. And cutting back into the 20. Still in the open. And Uric's going to catch him with a little help. But just coming from nowhere. And that was Rose, I think.
Yeah, that was Rose on that interception. Just stepped right in front. Read the quarterback's eyes perfect. Stepped in front of the pass, right in front of Ryan Dunker, took the interception and returned it, and now they're in positive yardage back inside the 17-yard line for Brush.
Rose has been probably the most productive receiver today, and he was receiving again. Thought Dunker was open, but he just slashed in there and grabbed the ball. Tigers will send Trevor Smith wide to the right at 130 pounds. A motion by Segi. He's got the ball running to the right side, and he's going to be hit down. I don't think he gained anything there. Jacob Segi.
What they're doing with that jet sweep is they're just trying to take advantage of the fatigue on the defense there, and hopefully banking that they can break one on the around the end there and get him in the end zone.
2 wides to the near side. 1 to the right, one in the slot. And comes up to the center, taps him, step back in the shotgun. The slot receiver to the near side, back to pass. You see him going for the touchdown, and that's going to be a catch, a battle there, but there's a flag, but I think that's going to be on the beat diggers. That's 35, is it? It's 6'7", 170 pounds. Jason Frank. There's no way the defender was going to be able to knock that one down. Jim just throw it to the back corner of the near side of the end zone, and now Sterling's going up 27-0. Scary offense. And it goes up to 28-0 with 2 extra points. Third quarter, 7-10. That's tough. Scored in less than 2 minutes on that last one. All Sterling so far. Got the beat diggers outnumbered too. Their bench is about twice as long as the beat diggers. And Liam Serjanik set to kick it off. Are they going to force that penalty?
There was a personal foul on Brush. So
we're saying a personal foul on Brush. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not sure where it's coming from, if it's the sideline or if it's something that somebody said over there. I don't know. I don't want to speculate on that one or guess at all.
This is going to kick off from the beat digger 45. He's going to kick it through the end zone for the touchback. I was afraid that Sterling was going to be a very tough opponent, and they haven't done anything to change their minds.
No, they do a great job. We know they throw the ball real well. We know they like to get it in those different receivers' hands. Rose has had a great game tonight. Rose has been a big producer for him.
Colin Cole to the near side. We put Dunker in motion to the far side, and underneath handoff, nothing there, about a 3-yard loss. Isaac Morales gets hit behind the line of scrimmage. They get up second and 13. Set the ball back to 17.
What they did is they had the tight end off the line of scrimmage on this near side. They sent him in motion. They're running a 59 where it's a quick pitch on the outside, hoping that tight end could help with our tackle double team that end over there, but did not work out, and we were tackled for a loss.
Okay, Jurek under center. That was right up the middle. Morales is going to dive forward. He's going to be across the 25, out almost to the 27. They're going to
be Nick Wellen.
Wellen, right down at the 25.
So these guys pick up out to the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5 now for Brush.
6:15. Tigers ahead 28-0 here in the third quarter.
And 3rd and 5 is not a bad spot to be in right now. The key is convert it on 3rd down and 5 here and keep this drive going. Let's not let Sterling get back on the field again.
Backs in the tee. Handoff straight up the middle, and there is a first down. Good call there, Coach.
Pickup of 9 yards, first down and 10.
This would be a first
Carry the
down.
Welland.
First and 10 Biggers from the 30-yard line.
Sterling changing up some of their defenders.
And if Brush can keep this this clock running and try to get something out of this, definitely the clock's going to work to their advantage because it's keeping Sterling off the field again.
Send Brown wide to the left. Cox in the slot to the left. Backs in the tee. And Welland has it. Blockers. He's got another 5 or 6 yards.
Running off tackle to the far side.
After a 6-yard run, he's 2nd and 4.
Set the ball down at the 36-yard line. Gain of 6. Keep the backs in the tee. And Welland has it again, driving forward. It's going to be short of the first down, but it's going to bring up 3rd and short. Looks like they're going to mark it down at the 39.
4 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. Sterling leading by a score of 28-0, but Brush is on the move right now inside their own 40-yard line.
Caleb Cox is bringing the play in, and Coach Holler must have changed the play in mid-motion. He had to turn around and go back and get it. The Big Diggers will send Cox wide left. Brown to the near side. Cox in motion. 3rd down and short. Morales right up the middle. He's going to be driven back.
That's going to be real close. I'm looking at the far referee as he's walking out there, and if he stands where I think he is, we should have a first down. But Morales entered that line of scrimmage, was standing straight up, and a host of Sterling Tigers just bombarded on him, and he's still laying down on the ground right now.
He got kind of trampled there by Reed Kaiser at 6'3", 280 pounds. Listed as a linebacker. And there's Sterling Trainer out there also. He got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, not quite. Like I said, he was standing straight up when he hit the line of scrimmage, and the Tigers just came and just, everybody collapsed that line of scrimmage and collapsed him. And so usually when that happens, sometimes good things don't come about. I'm just hoping that it is a matter of just getting the wind knocked out of you and not anything any more than that. He's a vital part of the offense, and we talked about it. They're not very deep, and so anybody that gets hurt is a huge loss for this football team, and especially from him on both sides of the ball. He's very valuable. He's a hustler. He comes up big a lot of times. He's got great speed for the Brush Beat Diggers here, so getting the ball in his hand, he's able to break away. And so that, we just have to kind of wait and see.
And he might have been a little banged up too, because he was didn't start the game. Adrian Lopez started. Northeastern Junior College. For a college that will equip you to go anywhere, let's go further than Northeastern. For more information, go to njc.edu. How about that, Northeastern Junior College? And they brought back wrestling this year.
Oh, they did?
They got last year.
Last year, yep. Little diamond in the rough over here on the Northeastern Plains. I know it's a great school. Lots of kids are able to go there right out of high school and get themselves an associate's degree and take what they've learned there and transfer that into a 4-year college. Has been very successful for a lot of students.
Well, we don't like to see this. They brought the ambulance crew out there with the bag.
Well, it's always good to have somebody like that on site, just in case it's a little bit more than what. And it looks like it might be. I don't even want to speculate. They got him lifted up. Maybe a knee injury. I don't know. Maybe a knee, something with the knee. We'll have to get some more word on that later on. Maybe Coach Schwent might have some information in the post-game show. We'll have to ask him about that.
You get jumped on by a 6'3", 280-pound guy.
That's kind of tough.
It's tough. Beat Diggers 4th down and a foot to go.
So they will be short of the first down, just shy of the 40-yard line. They need to get past the 40 for a first down.
Beat Diggers set to go for it.
I'd look
for the backfield. That's probably Lopez.
I'd look for this to be a straight ahead dive, quarterback sneak.
Boy, he didn't get much, but it might have been. Looks like he's going to have it by the official here on the near side. Yeah, 1st and 10 Beat Diggers.
And once again, that's important, Rob. They've got a 3rd down conversion, fourth down conversion to keep this drive going.
3:44 and counting. Mead Diggers hurry up the line. Put Brown out to the left side. And hand it to Wellen. He may have a yard or two. Went off to the left side.
Pick up of about a yard and a half, maybe.
Adrian Lopez kind of leading the blocking there. Yep, 2nd and 9. Tigers changing up some more players here.
3 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the third quarter. Brushed down by a score of 28-0. The Sterling Tigers are leading from Sterling, Colorado.
This is 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com. And there's a pitch to the near side, cutting back, but not much there for Adrian Lopez, who's a senior.
Adrian Lopez that time. Zach Busente there to make the stop.
He comes up limping a little bit too.
Yeah, and he had a knee injury earlier, so last year he hurt his knee, and so he's hobbling a little bit. I'm hoping that that's nothing that's going to be it's going to keep him out. So
3rd and 8 for the Mead Diggers. Ball's out to the 44-yard line. Their own. Brown wide left. Lopez in the lone running back in the backfield. And back passes Urich. He's got a keeper. He's going to throw it. And into the hands of one of the Tigers. It'll be incomplete. Brown was out there, but
yeah, they came out in the trips formation to the far side of the field, and what he did is he just waggled past to the left there. He's got to get around, set his feet, square his shoulders, and try to throw that quick pass underneath, but it was great defensive coverage on the part of Sterling, and they knocked the ball down, so now we bring up 4th down and 9.
Tiger defenders are used to catching the ball because most of them are playing on offense. And Brown to the near side. Going for it on 4th and 8. Yard back to pass, and he's going to miss his receiver out here in Cox.
Play was intended for Cox.
And it's going to give great field position for the Tigers at the Mead Diggers 47.
And for this high-powered offense, that's not what you want to give them. Is you don't want to give them a short field with those receivers out there and those mismatches to go right down the field and score points again. 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the third quarter. Brushed down by a score of 28-0. Ron Elbow along with Rob Hastings.
Okay, she was the 44-yard line. Brody Hume still out there. 2 wides to the right side, 1 to the near side. And he does hand it off up the middle. Nothing doing. Ricky Mendez and Stegner there met him head on. They'll make it 2nd and 9.5. Still no huddle for the Tigers. 2 wides to the far side, 1 here to the near side. Receiver in the slot or wing. Put a new running back there. That's Cade Nelson, a sophomore. And he was going to throw it to the near side, and Jacob Segi drops it. He's a little bit behind him. Coverage there by Queen and Adrian Lopez.
Well, I think he got antsy. He wanted to try to take off before he secured the ball, and he got just a little too far ahead of himself, and that's the reason why the incomplete pass. Got to catch the ball first.
3 wides to the right side. No, they holler. Segi turns and looks at the coach. And Hume looking back and forth to the coach. He'll reset his white running back. That's Cade Nelson. Hume's going to throw it to the far side as he had number 11 out there, Trevor Smith, but a little high there, so it'll be 4th and 9. Tigers, and they're going to bring out their punt team. First time today?
Yep, I think it is the first time.
Well, stopped them the first time.
Second punt of the night. Actually, they ran a fake punt that time.
That's right. Yeah. Ben Brown will go deep for the Diggers. He sets up about his 10. Ball bounces, but the kicker gets it up in the air. It's going to be short. Hit down about the 23-yard line. Tigers up 28-0. Tigers will have the ball. We've got a minute 8 left here in the third period. A little chilly here tonight, but be great down on the field. Not so great up here in the stands.
No. Ball's at the Brush Mead Digger 23-yard line.
They bring Colin Cole to the near side. Got 4 wide receivers to the near side, to the far side. Yerk's going to throw it here to the right up the middle. He's got Brown, but we've got a flag on the far side. A signal from the ref on the far side. Turning around talking to their bench, but must be getting a little help from the sideline there. Say, ineligible receiver. Or ineligible man downfield again.
Yep.
Ineligible receiver's even worse. That's 15 yards and loss of downs.
Yes.
You don't want that one.
This is just a 5-yard penalty, so first down again and 15 from the 18-yard line.
Then Brown out to the near side. Lopez in the slot. Underneath handoff, nothing doing.
Wellens the ball carrier.
Wellens hit down. Solid wall. Big 66 again. Kaiser there.
Rodrigo Del Rio.
He goes 280s. Surgenic's only 155, but you don't see Welland hit the wall that hard very often.
Still second down and 15. Brush on their own, inside their own 20-yard line right now. With 4 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Send 2 wides to the left, and that's going to be the quarter. So with that, let's take a short timeout. We'll be back. The Tigers lead 28-0 as we head to the fourth quarter here from Sterling. We'll be back in a moment on 1010, KSIR, and KSIR.com. Okay, the Tigers are going to get ahead south this time. You got to see what that flag is. It's still, they just moved it to the other end of the field.
See what we have installed for the final 12 minutes of the game here, the fourth quarter.
Okay. I guess that's the ball I'm looking at, not the flag. Okay. Ball will be at the 17-yard line. Second down for the Beaters, 2nd and 14. Eric back in the shotgun. 3 wides to the right side. He steps back, launches across the middle. And is that intercepted? It's going to be a touchdown for the Tigers. Wow, boy. I think that ball got knocked up in the air, and Isaac Harris grabbed it, took it off the left side. And he's 5'1", 145 pounds, and nobody catches him. And that's going to be about a 25-yard ride. 25-yard
touchdown. Interception return.
Ouch.
That hurts. 34. 34-0 right now with the extra point underway.
Knock another one through for the Tigers.
25-yard interception. Ouch. And that comes here at 11:48 in the fourth quarter. And the kick is not good this time. So it will be 34-0. Tigers get set to kick off after that interception. I think that ball just got batted up in the air. There's another defender got his hands on it. The passing hasn't gone well for the Mead Diggers.
No.
Really. All the other receptions been on passes or touchdowns. Tigers took it away from their ticket.
Pick it off once again.
Colin Cole and Cox deep. A short kick that's going to bounce. And Colin Cole's going to pick it up, head off to the right side, and we get a late flag. See the flag going in the air. I couldn't see what happened. Yeah, it went off to the right side.
Dominic Cardona making the tackle.
The far side of the field.
Personal foul face mask is the call against the Tigers. Attack on 15 yards and busting the out
We'll
near the
move the
40
ball
yard
out
line.
about the 40. They march that one off. Just off to 41. First and 10, Beepingers down 34-0. 11:43 left in the game. Eric under center. Hands it off to the near side, and cutting up for about 5 or 6 yards. That was Lopez on the carry.
Pick up of about 4 yards on that play for Adrian.
Yeah, it might be even 5. They set the deal over there. Well, moves it back a little. Backs in the tee. Slot to the right, wide receiver to the right. And a handoff straight up the middle. Nothing doing there for Lopez this time.
Lopez the ball carrier once again. Christian Rose.
We're inside of 11 minutes to go in the game. All set at the 46-yard line. 3rd and 5. Kadrick gets play from the bench. Calls it out real quick. Sends Brown to the right. Lopez and Welland in the backfield, and Urick on a keeper around the right side. He's going to have the first down. He's going to be into Tiger territory down about the 45-yard line. Going to mark it back at the 46.
Pick up of about 8 yards on that play, which is really good. Great awareness for Urick, being able to roll out to the right side, find that little open alley, and just cut upfield and get it what he can get. And as a result, it's a first down.
Sterling brings in 64. Rodrigo Del Rio at 285 pounds, 6'1" in the middle there. And it's run around the near side. Lopez gets whacked across the face there. Goes down pretty hard. It's a little slow coming up.
Pick up of no gain.
Just nothing there. 2nd and 10. Ball at 46.
9:44 to go in the final quarter.
The Bears headed south from the near sidelines. Brown will come over the near side wide. 2 tight ends. Well, we'll put Cox in motion to the far side. Good back to pass. He's putting it up long for Brown and almost intercepted. Little short going into the wind, and that was Trevor Smith at 5'7", 130 on the coverage.
Yeah, he needed to get that ball out a little bit quicker because Brown had him beat, but with that wind right there, it's got to be a little bit lower and quicker on the line, and that becomes a pass if he can just get it a little bit quicker out of his hands.
He's just right there, and the coverage is right there too. So had a great idea there, just didn't quite work. He's a keeper around the right side, nothing there. It's going to be run over and dropped for maybe a loss. Definitely no gain.
That'll bring up 4th down for him. From Sterling's 46-yard line. They're in positive territory, but just can't take advantage of it and convert on 3rd downs to keep these drives alive.
Trying to move them big guys out of the middle. Paxton out there at 6'3", 200. Del Rio at 6'1", 285. Paxton at 6'3", 200. Gary back to pass, throws it long, and Cox is picked up, and that's Brown picked up and thrown down and follows way over his head. Coverage out there by Jacob Segi. And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 46 of Sterling by the Tigers. They'll take over on downs. 8:31 on the clock.
And Sterling, that time they sent a little bit of a delayed blitz, so they waited to let people clear who were going to be coming out of the line, out of the backfield, trying to go for a pass. Watched as it went down. They ran a little delayed blitz, got right in Cade's face, and just a little bit of time there took him, out of his rhythm as far as getting that ball downfield.
He rose to the near side. And snap, got a different quarterback out there. That's number 12, and he's going to run it up for about 6-7 yards. Maybe a little more.
Yeah, at this time of the game with a 34-0 lead, smart thinking on the part of Sterling. Take your number one guy out of there. Let him get rest. Let these younger guys get some playing time, and that's a good call on the part of Sterling.
Brock Shala, sophomore at 5'9", 150. He shows some quicks out there. And he's going to hand it off this time right up the middle and break it into the clear and up for a big gain down to the 30. That's a huge gain there, about 4-yard line.
16-yard gain.
16. Tigers on the march. Send Trevor Smith at 5'7", wide to the left side. Receiver in motion out of the slot, handed to the deep back, nothing there. Tigers going to bring him down. Sebastian Medina in on the stop, along with Isaac D. Herrera. On the beat diggers. Go ahead.
Approaching the 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go. They get another score here. It's a running clock at that point.
Segi in motion, gets the handoff, going across the left side. He gets hit, breaks a tackle, dives forward. I have about 4 yards out of that.
Being brought down by Lopez.
See where they mark it down. Still no huddle for the Tigers. New quarterback with Brock Shala out there. Drop the clock run a little bit at 6:40. Little bubble screen to Segi. He breaks one tackle, but not the two. There's no gain there. Make him a yard or two. Set it down up to 25.
Should bring it 4th down and 4.
25-yard line.
Just a short gain for him, a little 1 yard gain. With all that running, that's all he picked up.
Smith and Segi to the left. A high snap, come to the near side, and nothing there.
Connor Poland's the ball carrier that time. He's going to be shot short. The first down, so he'll turn over on
Ricky
down.
Mendez, along with a host of other beat diggers in on the tackles. So the beat diggers will take over on downs. 6:02 on the clock. While they set up, change position. Don't forget the Central Auto Parts. You need your vehicle and farm equipment to be in top shape. So make sure you take care of them by purchasing the best quality parts at great prices at your local Napa store. Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. Kid Yerrick under center. Hands it off to the right side.
Well, the ball carrier.
And Wellen will be up for a couple, 3 yards.
McCracken over there.
Gain of about 5.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. Everybody's right in the way there. Yeah, we'll call it 2nd and long 5. Beat diggers hurry up to the ball. 5:33 and counting. Rick under center, calls out the play, and now we get the flag.
Before the play can start.
Not sure.
Subs in for the Tigers.
We'll see what they say here. Dead ball offsides on the beat there. I think maybe Brown moved on the far side. I can't tell for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was.
Penalty on the brush that time, back him up 5.
So it'll bring down 2nd and 10.
We're going to set it.
Bring the All-Brand in on the defensive line now for the Tigers.
Set the ball with the
Jordan Corberdan.
Back at the 23-yard line, is it? 25?
24, I think. Just short of the 25. And Urick hands it underneath, coming right up the middle. Oh, well, and drives it across the 30.
Picks up about 7, I think.
Set the ball down at the 32. Seems like wherever they're setting the ball, there's players in the way. We can't see where they're setting it down. It's got the wrong angle here. Kind of moved away from that big speaker. I hope it's a little better. And there's a run off the right side. Not much there. Maybe a yard.
On third down. Helping out. Going to be a 4th in. It'll bring a 4th down and a long run now for Buck.
4th and 1. I don't know if it's that long, but
Good call for a bootleg right now. I mean, that's been a big hitter the few times that Cade has ran it. He's been able to pick his alleyway there and get upfield, so we'll see what happens depending on the formation they come out in.
set the ball right down at the 33. He's got to take it to the 34. Eric under center. He's going to hand it off the right side and drive him forward. Nice job by Wellen. He's going to pick up about 8 yards, I think.
He's running an off-tackle play on the far side of the field, what we call our 46.
First and 10 Diggers. 3:48 we're counting on the clock. Two Diggers really help out, at least not to be shut out. It'd be nice to get a score. Jackson T hands off to the left side, cutting up the middle and across the 50 and down to the 44-yard line. Nice job. I think that was Lopez on the carry, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Pickup of 11 yards on the play. Brings up first down and 10 at 3:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Starting leading by a score of 34-0.
Set the ball up to 44, first and 10. 44 of the Tigers. Tigers got some younger guys in there, but where to go? Across the right side, breaking across, getting a first down, almost a 20-yard pickup there. The 18 by Urick. He called that quarterback keeper. He's good at faking the ball too.
Yes.
Running back has it. They didn't. Let's put it down at the 26-yard line. First and 10 Diggers. Down 34-0. Diggers driving. Running to the near side. Not much there for Lopez. Pick up a yard.
Lopez, the ball carrier. Even Bennett gets up off the bottom of the pile. Stepping in now for the Tigers.
Move it down to the 24. So a gain of 2 for Lopez. So the runner looked like he was going to be hit down in the backfield.
Yep.
Down to the right. Here's that tight formation right in the center of the field. Sterling's 24, underneath handoff, and just driving forward. That was what you call an offensive line push.
Great surge by the Brush offensive line, getting underneath those guys and just driving them back and getting positive yards. Brings up a third down.
It really helps when the guys are a lot smaller than them 200, 300-pound guys.
We're matching up against guys that are about our size right now.
Yeah. Okay. Third and long one. Ball set at the 16. And they're breaking into the clear, driving for a touchdown. Really close, maybe a half-inch short, it looks like.
Just outside the end zone. Great burst of speed through the line of scrimmage on the part of, was that Nick Wellen? Wellen, great job, great acceleration.
Oh man, there was just a hole right up the middle. So the Tigers are going to change up some of the linemen there. Big Digger's trying to get up to the line and catch him off guard. Wellen off the right, and he's got a beat Digger touchdown.
He's across the end zone.
1
yard touchdown run at 1 minute and 11 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
34-6 Tigers.
Okay, finally for the Beat Diggers. Fourth quarter run. 1 yard. Be sure a little bit, Ron.
Well, that cold weather's coming in. We're supposed to have some rain and cold weather over the weekend leading into Monday, so we're getting our first taste of it. Puga's in for the extra point.
He sets up, snaps down, kicks, block.
And there's a flag. Referee does signal that somebody got a handle on it, so we've got a, I don't know what that call was.
Legal participation.
Yes.
Is that what that is?
Substitution.
Okay.
So we got 12 guys on the field.
Oops. Yep, so that'll make it 30-6 for the Tigers. The Tigers do get a touchdown, first one in 2 weeks. So. Like I said, they took out the big guys, and the Tigers match up pretty well when everybody's about the same size.
Yes.
Like the Tigers got an awful lot of guys out there too. They had a couple come off to get set up to receive the kickoff. Sets it up on the tee at his 40.
And as the wind's picking up, you can hear it in the background.
Coming out of the southeast and northwest, is getting a little chillier here. They're set to kick it off. A nice high kick's going to bounce in front of the Tiger. He catches it on the bounce. That's number 29. Finally going to be hit down. Let's see, that's Connor Politz, a 5'4", 125-pound freshman. No fear there, no bigger there.
No.
He'll be hit down about the 25-yard line. First and 10 for the Tigers. .102 on the clock. And the Tigers huddled up. Of course, that's unchanged possession. A little confusion on lining up there. Now they're set. And hand off right up the middle. Not much there. Rock shallow quarterback. And that's down to 48 seconds and counting.
Michael Nichols making the tackle for Brett.
59 running in at the last minute. That's good off. Run to the left side and hit down hard is number 10. That's Jackson McCracken, a sophomore, 6 foot 165. Clock one inside of 20 seconds to go. And we got Caden Seeds coming out. He's 5'5", 150 pounds. Okay, there's a carry off to the left side. Not much there, and that's going to do it for the ball game. 34-6. Sterling Tigers having the Rush Beat Diggers. And Ballers shivering here, so we'll head back for a couple minutes on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Okay, welcome back to Sterling. And the Tigers win over the Beat Diggers, but we'll have that split up here shortly. But we'll head on to next week, where the Beat Diggers will take on Valley at home. And they'll go to Weld Central the 13th of October, then on to Platte Valley and Fort Lupton to wrap up the season. The Tigers will play Platte Valley, so they'll have their hands full next week. That'll be an exciting game to watch. And the Mustangs from Fort Morgan are at Mead tonight, and then they'll take on Centaurus Mead at home, and then Silver Creek will come to Fort Morgan the 13th of October. So we'll have a lot more football in Morgan County. Of course, the Wiggins Tigers are playing hard tonight too, I think, Ron. And well,
everybody in northeast of Colorado is working their tail off tonight. And we're talking about brush. Once again, get back to the drawing board again. You know, a matter of just I'm out of breath. I had to run upstairs real quick here, so I'm trying to catch my breath.
It's okay. But, well, we started it off at 3:27 of the first quarter.
First quarter, yep.
Sterling with a 29-yard pass from Hume to Rose. And the extra point was good. And then at 5:14 of the second period, Sterling scored by a 3-yard pass from Hume to Rose. And extra point was good, made it 14-0. And at 9:02 of the third, Sterling had a 17-yard pass by Hume, and the extra point was good, made it 21-0. Then at 7:10 of the third period, only less than 2 minutes later, Sterling scored on another Hume pass to number 35, and lost that paper. So, but that made it 28-0 with the extra point, and then the interception return, 25 yards, and that made it 34-0 because the extra point wasn't good. And let's see, then we ended up 34-6. Is that right? I think
that's correct.
We're
yep.
34-6.
We did not, with the extra point, we had a legal substitution. We had 12 guys on the field, so the extra point was no good, so that's where we ended up the game with. But, you know, for Brush to be able to score at the end of the game here, put some points on the board, not get shut out, that's a positive. You know, as we look at this game and you look back on what happened, Brush was in control early in the game. Their defense was able to stop them. Their offense was on the field, and they were chewing up time on the clock, which is exactly what Coach Schwinn said. That would be their best defense, is their offense on the field. The problem that we run into, and they ran into, is a matter of, like I said, just getting worn down, by bigger teams that just keep coming at you. That passing attack put a lot of stress on the defensive backs. It caused them to run all over the field, and with only 3 down linemen there was no way for them to get any kind of a pass rush on Hume or to get anybody out there and get in his passing lane. So it made it really, really difficult for them to get any kind of pressure on him.
Well, that 3-man line worked real well in the first half, but they kind of adjusted to it too in the second half.
And when they had those 5 receivers out and we had the 3-man line, they said, let's just go ahead and take advantage of that, run right at the heart of the defense there, and they were able to pick up good plays. Hume's a great quarterback. He's a great athlete. He knows he throws the ball very well. He knows how to command that offense, and he knows how to take control on that football field. Right now we're joined by head coach Lance Schwitt. Hang on a second.
Okay. And of course, not only that, Sterling has that big set of big linemen, and Hume at 6'7", receivers at 6'6" and 6'3". And hi, Coach.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, they got some big kids. Their size. We can handle size. Their speed was hard to match, especially our defense. The kids played hard, but our offense didn't give them a lot of opportunities, and again, we got to figure it out.
Well, then you got to start from scratch when you go against, after you see Sterling play. It's not like it's easy preparing for them, is it?
No, it's kind of hard to give that kind of look because they have so many athletes. Our kids do the best they can on scout team and stuff like that, but until you're out here and you see that speed for real, it's hard to adjust to it. But defensively, I thought for the most part, first half we did a great job, and it just came down to offensively, we're just not being able to put points on the board, and kind of take a hard look at that and find out if it's scheme or play calling or a little bit of both. But it's frustrating, but hopefully we'll come out next week. We get homecoming, and I know our kids will be ready to fight.
Well, it looked like their defensive backs were mostly receivers, and they were really closing on the ball.
Oh yeah, they're the most athletic defensive backfield we've played against, and we kind of knew that going in, and we said that if we ever had to get into a shootout with them, that's not a good thing, and we found ourselves having to throw the football a few more times than we wanted to because they were packing the box in, and they're so athletic back there that they were able to make some plays that you got to tip your hats off to them.
Well, go down 34-6, but we've always got next week. Got the Valley coming in.
Yep, it's a homecoming game. Finally going to play at home again, and it's the Valley Vikings. So they're another team that's they were 3-1 going into tonight. So I don't know how they ended up, but it's another team that's have very few losses, and so we got to be ready to play them.
Okay, well, thanks for coming up, Coach. It's at least a short trip home tonight.
Yeah. Thank you guys for all you do.
Okay, thanks a lot, Coach Swint. Doing a great job. The kids are really responding to him. It's just sometimes they're bigger, faster, and it's hard to beat guys that are bigger and faster and taller. And
more athletic. And
yeah.
and you hit it right, the nail right on the head there. And I know Coach Schwint. I've known him for a long time, and he takes his stuff hard. He takes it to heart. He's very passionate about what he does, and he is. It's definitely something he's not going to rest on. He's going to go back and evaluate what can be done different. And I think when he sits back and takes a look at this, it's not going to be a matter of scheme. It's not going to be a matter of what they did or what they shouldn't do. It's just a matter of we were at times we were just out hustled and we were outplayed, and that's just what it comes down to. Athletes, he said it right there. They've got athletes on their side of the field. We didn't have as many to match up with them, and that's just the honest opinion and the honest evaluation from watching this game. Anybody that came out here and saw this would be able to agree with us. I'm pretty sure that they've got great athletes, and matching up with them and being able to compete with them was not in the cards tonight. So they're just going to work with what they've got. They're going to go back. They're going to, well, like I said, I say this, week in and week out. I know this coaching staff, they're going to be looking at film on Sunday. They'll be figuring out what they worked on, what they need to work on, and they're going to come back to the drawing board again on Monday in film session with the football players, and then be ready to go on the field once again on Tuesday and start putting things together and getting that game plan intact for next Friday night against Valley. So, this team's not going to give up. They're going to give you everything they got. They're going to prepare every week, and they're going to prepare to win games. And so there's never not going to be any letdown on the part of this coaching staff or this football team.
No, it is. We got a lot of good kids out there. They fight hard, and they're fun to watch. And then after watching Sterling, you got to kind of admire what they're doing. It's a little different look, and when you get beat, it always hurts. But if you get thumped a little bit, it's easier than the tough ones.
Well, I think
the toughest ones are the close ones that you should be able to win.
And when you talk about athletes on the Sterling football team, these are the same athletes that are on that basketball court that were state champions, I believe, last year. Or in the finals last year in the state championship. So they're loaded with athletes right now. Those skilled players, those receivers and defensive backs are basketball players, and those guys just know how to get open. They're very shifty. They're very smooth. And so, hats off to Sterling. They've got a great group of athletes through here, and these guys are going to go ahead. They're going to go a long way with this talented group here if they can keep it together. And this offense and this passing game is awful hard to defend against. It puts a lot of pressure on defensive backs, puts a lot of pressure on defensive coordinators to figure out how they're going to get pressure on that quarterback. Because if you don't get pressure on him, he's got all day long to pick you apart. And if not, he'll take off and he'll run. So he's a huge threat there. He runs the ball. He throws the ball really well. And, he just knows how to command the offense. So hats off to Sterling. They're going to be a tough team to beat.
Okay, well, that kind of wraps up this week. We'll be back on the air next week at 7 o'clock against the Valley Vikings. And we'll be on home turf again.
Going to be nice to be home. Yep.
Yeah. Seems like Beat Digger's been playing it away from home a lot here.
Well, we got 3 games on the road, a home game, and then now another away game. Now we get a home game. It's going to be nice to be sitting inside a booth and inside some stands for inside a press box finally instead of out in the elements. So
yeah, this is a little interesting tonight. So okay, well, Ron, thanks for everything.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure. It's always fun. I enjoy it.
Okay, and I hope everybody. We enjoy doing it, and great kids out there, and it's nice to have them coached by a good bunch of guys, and that's all you can ask is great effort and great talent. Sometimes those hard knocks are part of life, and
Yep.
you pick yourself up and work hard the next time.
Just keep the kids positive and wait till next week. They got another week to go.
Okay, well, thanks a lot. Sterling Tigers 34, the Brush Beat Diggers 6. That'll wrap it up from Sterling for Rob and Ron and all our great sponsors. Rose for running the board. We'll say good night from Sterling. Sterling Tigers 34, Beat Diggers 6.